Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in today for our midweek devotion. I'm so glad to have you here as we are going to try to set ourselves for the rest of our week and have a really fun message. And today's message happens to be about what God and gaming have in common. So stick around to see what this is going to be all about. Here we go. So friends, I'm sure that when we're talking about God, the ultimate almighty, creator of heaven and earth God, sometimes you have your doubts. And sometimes you question whether or not God exists. And if you have those questions, you, my friend, are certainly not alone. There are many other people in this world that are constantly going through and trying to wonder if God really exists, myself included. Yes, that's right, even I, someone of faith, has questions and doubts, and I wonder sometimes if God really does exist. So to kind of rein in on this talk about God and its existence, let's kind of bring in a real life example. So if you are a typical teenager, which I know many of you are, you likely have some kind of gaming console. Whether that be, a computer itself, whether that be a PS4 or a PS5 maybe, or an Xbox or something like that. Well, I have, and this is going to be pretty old school, but I have a GameCube, and I have this one right here, and it has 2 controllers that it came with, and all these great things. In your game consoles, there's a lot of things going on in here. As for me, I put the disc in here and it spins around. I've got these slots for memory cards. I've got the controller ports right here. And there's a bunch of plugins on the back. And you definitely have, whatever your game system is, a PS4 or, a Xbox. You definitely have a lot of hardware going on inside or outside. There's a lot of wires running across places. And you know what? It's all pretty complex, and those complex pieces work together to ensure that the game works properly. We all know we've had glitches with these lovely devices, and those don't work. The game is made so that it works without a hitch going on or any kind of glitch. And all the parts in your gaming console are way too complex to just have happened, And I'm sure your Xbox or your PlayStation didn't just arrive in your living room suddenly. It had to have a creator. All of these things complex about the gaming systems and everything that is detailed within this device show that there was a creator for it. It didn't just happen. Now friends, we live in a world that is just as complex as a game system. We have trees, we have animals, we have people, and they all are put into this complex thing that likely probably didn't just happen. We can see the evidence of a creator all around us every single day, but it is up to us to believe on whether or not that is the truth. That is probably the biggest proponent to faith, is whether or not you choose to believe what you see, and you choose to believe that God created what you see. We have to take what we know about creation, what we hear and what we read about God's creation, and understand that as what is true. And that is the definition of faith. There's a passage in the Bible that I'd like to read right now from Hebrews chapter 11, verse 3. It says, "By faith we understand the entire universe was formed at God's command, that what we now see did not come from anything that can be seen." See, the evidence of God's creation is all around us every day. The trees, the birds, the sun, they're all working together to tell us about what God created. So the next time you're wondering whether or not God exists or if God, is real, take a minute. You can even examine your game console. Take a minute to examine something and understand that God had the time to create it. God had the time to create the birds, and God had the time to create Earth. But most importantly, God had the time to create you. So above all, I want you to come away from today understanding that it's important to come away and thank God for all of the creation and everything on earth, including your game consoles. But understand that when you have these questions, you are not the only one. And all it takes is just to concentrate on something and try to conceive what happened and why it's there, and understand that God probably created it. Now I know there might be conflicting views about such things, but this is what I would like you to know today. I would like you to know that you are not just something that happened. You are someone that was placed here by God. You are someone that is loved by God and created by God. And I want you to take that message as you go forward today. So that is our midweek devotion for today. I hope that you enjoyed bringing in your game consoles. I hope that you enjoyed playing your games on your game consoles, but also understanding the important message of being part of God's creation. So that is what we have for today. I hope you have a great rest of your week. As always, we will see you on Fridays for our Talk About It Fridays. Enjoy the rest of your week. So until then, friends, we'll see you later.